How can we now open this menu? Ionic makes this really simple, thankfully. You just go to the page or to the component where you want to open it, so where you want to add that hamburger icon in the toolbar. And there are other ways of opening it too, in case you don't want to open it through that hamburger, but I'll show you the hamburger first. And let's say that would be the offers page here. There, I want to render this icon on the left, so I'll add my ion buttons slot start wrapper here. And in there, you can add an ion menu button. This is a component Ionic ships with, which you can drop in like this, and it will automatically take your default menu you have and open that. Now, in case you have multiple menus, one from the left and one from the right, let's say, you can give your menus here a menu ID. That could be any string you want, like M1 or anything you want. And then you can also connect this opening button to that ID. So here on Ion Menu Button, you can add a menu key and use that same ID to basically inform Ionic which menu it should open with that button. So here, let's now save that and wait for this app to reload. And let's go to Offers, and there we now see that hamburger icon. And if you tab it, that menu slides open and it gets removed by sliding or by simply pressing the backdrop. You can also slide it open, by the way, here from the left. So that is all supported. That is a nice native-like behavior, as we would expect it. And you see, these are all the items we added, no lines in between them. These are the icons I chose. And you can use that menu ID to select it. Or as I mentioned, if you only have one menu, then this will be picked automatically, so you don't have to assign a menu ID then. So if I remove the menu ID and I remove the menu attribute from the Ion menu button, then it still works. Now, that is one way of opening the menu. What would be another way? Another way would be to do it programmatically. And I don't really need this in this application, but I want to show it to you. So let's say on the Discover page here, obviously I want to add that Ion buttons thing here with slot start. And we could add the Ion menu button, and in reality you would do that, because why wouldn't you? But let's say we have an Ion button here, which says open. And we want to add our own click listener to do that programmatically. And more realistic scenarios, of course, would be that you have some other button somewhere on your page that when the user presses it should simply open a side menu. Because maybe you are showing some special settings for this page in your app menu, in your side menu, which you want to show when the user clicked config somewhere in your page. But here, the idea is the same. I'll add on open menu. You can name this method whatever you want, and you just have to add it to your TypeScript file then. In on open menu, how can we now get access to our menu? Well, there is a special controller you can inject, the menu controller. It's of type menu controller, and you do import it from @Ionic Angular. With the menu controller injected, this gives you access to your, well, menus. So you can now use the menu controller, and there you can get, for example, an array of all the menus it finds. You can close the current menu. Alternatively, here you can also pass a menu ID if you have multiple menus, like M1, or if you call it like this, it basically closes the menu it finds as your main menu, and so on. You also have an open method, of course, and an isOpen method to check whether it is open. And you have the toggle method, which actually will open it if it's closed, or close it if it's open. And you could have used open or toggle here, doesn't really matter. If I use toggle here, you see that on Discover, here is the open button I added, and that indeed opens the menu through that menu controller and therefore programmatically. Now, it's not the solution I will use here. So I'll comment this out so that you can still see this code here, but it's not the solution I want to use here. It doesn't make a lot of sense here, but it's important to know how you could open that menu from code if you needed that. I will bring that menu button back though, because I want to have that hamburger icon, and why would I write my own code if it works like this out of the box? So let's make sure we can now also add links here and then switch pages.